minute, we will start talking to the minister. We'll talk about road issues across the country. He will give us update about the different work, especially the dry season is here. Maybe because of the weather, not really yet, but I think a few weeks ago, the Ministry of Public Works sent out a release that they will have started work in some of the communities around. And so the minister is here, Minister Giddings. We'd like to say good morning and welcome to the show, even though we take responsibility for the delay in the time, but it's good.
Yeah,
Morning.
you pay for it.
Yeah,
Thank
we'll
you.
pay for it. We'll pay.
Morning. Thank you for having me.
How is everything, boss man? Long time. How are you?
Yeah, thank God. God is in my corner.
Okay.
So we are okay. We are doing okay.
Okay. And the Ministry of Public Work too is okay?
Yes, the Ministry of Public was excellent.
Okay.
Doing excellent. Let me say that.
Excellent.
Yes.
You're so definite about that.
Yes, we are doing excellent. You see, we are focused as a ministry. We know we have, if not the biggest tax, but one of the bigger tax, and we are focused on that. My team and I working exceedingly to be able to achieve the president objective, and the president objective is an investment in roads. He's emphasized that there's nothing you can do in terms of development now without road, and that's what we say. The road to development is road, and so the focus is building our roads, and I think we are just doing that. We have a team that is very concentrated right now on what we intend to do around the country, and that will include in the capital and in the different counties, and connecting and maintaining the connection of our county capitals through the rainy season. We are in the dry season now. We'll be going back to do maintenance on those roads. Like we said, we had a 100-day that should last for 2 years. Some of them will be expiring next year, March,
You want to come close
after
more?
2 years.
Okay, you better.
And we're going to revive some of those contracts so we are able to continue to maintain the corridor. The 104.22 million that people spoke about, to date, we've spent just about 15 million, almost 2 years now, maintaining those roads. And I think the Liberian people have seen the results, that now you can go to the service and do that in 9, 10 hours. You're in Maryland. The prices for commodities have dropped. In fact, that impacted the inflation rate. Because of that, prices have fallen for basic commodity, food commodity, petroleum product across the country. I think that's a major gain. We're relieving our people by investing in infrastructure, and I think that's what is happening now in roads and both energy, even with LEC. See the level of work, the level of stability that we have. I think we're making some serious progress, and I'm glad that we can continue to live up to the expectation of the Liberian people
Okay.
in a meaningful way.
All right, Minister. Time is fast spent already, so I will just go straight into specific roles that I think will be of interest to all of us. The Saclipie to Tapeta, 61 kilometer, the Fishtown to the Belipo, the Koi, 20 kilometer, the Rawspo to Medina, all these roads, Minister. Can you tell us the physical progress on these roads so far in terms of how many kilometers have been paved on your administration?
So let me just talk about Ganta to Saclipie when we took over. That is a 39 kilometer. The was 19 was done.
Okay.
To date, we done about 26. This dry season we do about 5 more. So we've done 6, and now we'll be doing 5 more. So that should be 11 plus 19. That should be close to almost 39 completion. So the intent is to be able to complete that 39 kilometers during the dry into the next before the next rainy season. Hope we can do that. From Tapeta to Saclipie to Tapeta, we are about 92-94% complete.
That's good.
So now you're driving into Tapeta now with paved road. We should be starting at 0 kilometer from Tapeta to Toastown, which is 40 kilometer this dry season. So before the rain come, the intent is for us to do at least 5 kilometers, 5 to 6 kilometers from Tapeta to Toastown, which is 40 kilometers, because the contractor is just mobilizing. To get started, it takes some time, but by next dry season, we could be doing even 15, 20 kilometers. So that's what will be happening. From Toastown to Zreju, we not started yet, but we are in the procurement process, and we are hoping that before the rainy season comes, we should be mobilizing to
Toast down
start.
to Zweju.
Yes,
The one
toast down
from
to
the
Zurich.
Ivorian Bowler too,
Yes,
inclusive.
we're gonna go to the border. It's 10 kilometers.
You've not
to the border.
started yet.
No, not yet. But we are in the procurement process.
Okay.
So hopefully before the next rainy season, we could get the contractor to be mobilized in that corridor to get started. We're gonna complete this dry season, the 20 kilometer from Fishtown to Kilibo. We're gonna complete that fully. The 80 kilometer, there's about 7 kilometers that left for overlay and drainage system. We're gonna complete that fully this dry season. We're going to complete the Sekipa to Locato, that is Sanikure Sekipa to Locato, 100% this dry season. Is about 86% complete. So we're going to complete 100% this dry season up to the border. That would mean that the entire southeastern corridor could get connected because we are in the procurement process for the system 1.5. So before the next rainy season, we will have a contractor mobilized on a corridor from Kilibo to Johns David Town, and we are now beginning the procurement process for the balance 48 kilometer from John David Town to Zweju. So by the half of next year, the entire corridor up to Fishtown will be occupied with pavement. We have 4 contractors paving the road. So there'll be a lot of massive work done by next dry season in terms of road pavement in our corridor.
Next dry season, you mean 2026 dry season?
Yes, and that would mean that the entire corridor up to Maryland will be connected by paved road. That process will get started fully, 100% by 2026. We get started to finally connect Monrovia to Maryland.
To Maryland.
On the Lofa side, we're going to complete the 14 kilometer this dry season. We're done already. The 81 kilometer we've done about, I think it's about 60. That should be about 67. So we're going to be completing the balance hopefully by this dry season.
From where to where?
From Banga to Salaye. We should be hitting Salaye. The balance 14.
Where
kilometers.
are we now from Banga?
We're beyond. I don't remember the name of the town,
Okay.
but we're just 14 kilometers away from Salaye.
From Salaye.
There's a pavement, yeah. So we'll be completing 100% this dry season. Before the rain comes, we'll be completing that. And we are in the process. In fact, let me announce that the Coities are in town. We've gotten a commitment from from OFIC and also from Badia, about 60 million. The Coities are here. They have initially made a commitment of 12.8 million, so we have 78 million now committed. The possibility that they could make more funding committed when we finalize the discussions with them while they're here. That would take us from Salaye to Konya, if I beyond Konya, because Salaye to Konya is a 50 kilometers, so we should be going towards Vanjima, which is 115 kilometers. So that project will get started. We are now mobilizing to get a consultant to just review the designs that was done, make sure it's finalized, put together bid documents, and we are hoping that by next dry season also, you will see full work, a contractor on that corridor paving from Salaye towards Konya, Soza, and now we're talking about Vanjuma. That's where we are. On the Pavifor deed, thanks to the Senate and the House, they finally passed on the Pavifor deed that should begin pavement from Simple Beach to Clay to Bowater side to Tottenham, and then also pavement from Minicoma Foya back to Vanjima, or Vanjima Foya to Minicoma. That should start very soon. By January latest, you will see some mobilization on our corridor. Contractor will be on our corridor beginning to do work to do the pavement. It's going to be a 4 lane from Simple Bridge to Bowater side. If you go into Sierra Leone, as you see, they have that certain distance of the road towards Freetown is 4 lane. We're going to have the same 4 lane, but our own going to start from Simple Bridge straight to the border. So there's going to be no single lane.
Rubber Sport Medina?
Rubber Sport Medina is on that project also under the Paviford. SSF is doing 12.5 kilometers of the 42.5 kilometers. So there's a 30 kilometer that's left. That is under the Paviford arrangement. It's going to be paved also. That's where we are with major corridor.
Okay. Except that most times I don't hear anything that links Montserrat to Gbapolu or bombing to Gbapolu.
So we already have there's a company in WHBO that we did an MOU with. They are currently doing a feasibility studies, and they are proposing to bring their own funding, like a PPP, like what we did with the Pavifor arrangement, to do Tottenham to Salmi, and from Brewery to Salmi and Brewery to Bopolu. We also included there for a study that will connect Bopolu to Lufa. There are 3 points. We're looking for the least cost point to finally connect Bopolu to Lufa. This is a dream of the president. He has mandated that we do that. And so that study is currently taking place, and we'll be looking at connecting Lufa. We also have a team of engineers from the Ministry of Public Works and some intern from the different universities, engineers that are participating in a road infantry survey, or national road infantry survey, that looks at the conditions of our bridges and our roads. They are currently doing that, so hopefully by January, February, that study will be completed. And it also looks at the most feasible point to connect Bopolu to Lofa. So Bopolu to Lofa is something that we're definitely going to do before we leave. You're going to drive from Bopolu to Lofa. We're going to do that.
Give us a picture or progress on this whole road sector development plan. Where are we?
Excellently well. The road sector development plan is moving faster, of course. It was done by the help from the World Bank and our African Development Bank partners. When I came, we reviewed the plan, and I felt the plan was not too ambitious, because the plan was looking at us doing 1,000 kilometers of road every 10 years. The deficit we have is about 11,000 plus. And I said, okay, if the government decides that it wants to pave all the roads in the country, which of course is not what any government will want to do, because even in developed countries, there are some roads that are not paved. But if we want to do that, we are talking about 110 years to pave all the roads.
All the roads in the country?
Yes, with this plan. So I
110 years?
Yes, because every 10 years, 1,000 kilometers. So if you got 11,000 kilometers as the deficit now, then you're talking about 110 kilometers of road every year. And I said to the bank, we want to be more ambitious. We want to double that. So we want to say 2,000 kilometers every year, for example, every 10 years, for example. So then that will reduce it at least to 50 years. So maybe I could still be living. We'll finally pave all the roads in the country. So we spoke about that, and that is why we felt to move towards the private sector side, because most of the payment or the financing of our road network has been done by multilateral and bilateral. While it's true the interest rates are low, the preconditions are very, stringent, and sometimes it takes a lot of time to get a project started through the different structure, system, and processes and procedures. We're not saying we want to bypass that, but with private sector, interest rates may be high, but preconditions are not too much. They're ready to put the money on the ground running, because they're business people. They want to make money. The multilaterals and the bilaterals are not business people. They're from the development perspective. And then, so they have a lot of preconditions by which they want you to get certain things done. The businessmen want to make, time is money, so they want to move their money faster. So we said, let's bring the private sector angle into it. And that is why the bank has supported us. We've developed a PPP policy that was endorsed by cabinet. The last cabinet we had, we endorsed that policy. So now, not only roads, but energy, any public sector investment we want to make, we can also use the PPP models. There are different models adapted and accepted in that policy. So I'm one of those who have pushed that even before the policy was adopted, for which we now have the private for agreement, and we have other agreements coming up that will see private sector money into the corridor. Let me talk about the coastal highway. So from Buchanan to Sester Junction, we've got commitment already for the African Development Bank. We are completing the studies up to Greenville and designs. We have had interest in that corridor. Also from the...
When could it start? When could it start?
So we are looking for actual work to get started on that corridor by 2027. Because we know it's not possible next year, because the bank has to go to the board and present the case to the ADF. We have some money, 17, the ADF, we have some money earlier on to make that investment. We'll have to reallocate it to complete the Sanikore to Locato project, because the EIB pulled out of that project. So we are now looking at 2027 to see, because we're already doing the design, finalizing that. Once they go to the board, is approved, the first phase will be available. We're also talking to the EU. We've officially communicated with the EU. They've expressed interest in the road sector. We hope that they continue to do so. They wanted to be involved with the Bowater corridor, but because we have a PPP arrangement already, we told them the government position was that the coastal highway is the next priority to do. So they're looking at that. We also met the MCC when they came. They were very impressed with our road sector development program. And we pitched to them another corridor that's very important. I call that corridor the legacy corridor. And President Barker will be the president to do that corridor. If it doesn't end, we will start that corridor. And that is from it's a Beach Town, compound number 3, that goes
Okay.
into, yeah, Lat, and then connect to Bodota in Bum. It also pass by the track and connect to Saklipi. So I call that the Y corridor. And I call it the legacy corridor under President Barker. We intended to pave that corridor as a percent
From
179.
Bijotan to Saklepi, in
Yes,
essence.
and then to Bodota also.
Yeah.
So I pitched that
Once you say
with the
Saklepi,
World
you
Bank.
got to pass Budota.
Yes, so then I pitched that with the World Bank, and they see it as an interesting the corridor and project that we should do. I also pitched that with the MCC. Hopefully, if the American government sees us, qualify for the MCC, which I'm very hopeful of, we will get some money to go into the road sector. So that by 2028, 2027, 2028, the road work will be so massive, and the intent is to show that President Barker intention for improving road development is highly something that he wants to do.
Okay, Minister. I know there was a situation in Bank with the CMC and the Minister of Public Works came in, and I don't know whether finally something. What is the final decision now?
No, one of the things that we did, we had to stem our authority because we don't think anybody should just get out and decide to build a bridge, for example, or to do a road without consulting with the ministry. The ministry does not have all the capacity to do all the works. So if there's a good citizen somewhere, whether connected to a political party, whether it's an NGO, whether it's a group of people, citizens that believe that they want to make some intervention because it impact their daily lives, consult with the ministry. We can provide technical guidance. We may not have all the resources to do so. I have written to the legislature about that, both the Senate and the House. I've already written, also consulted with PPCC. Even I had some problem with Lays. Lays was just doing a project without getting public works STEM. And PPCC had to come in. I wrote PPCC, we have a kind of agreement that they are not going to approve any design, any drawings, or any construction work from any government ministry or agency if public work does not provide a STEM on that construction work because we're responsible. So it was nothing political, it was something within what the system is. So we
I'm
had
just
a
asking
conversation
whether
with
there's a
PFC.
go ahead now for them
So
to do
we
it.
sat down and they resubmitted to what we requested them to do. We stopped them that they could not do any work except they go through a particular process. We sat on the table. Of course, the legislature got involved. It became political. I was sent for, and of course, I stood my ground that you have to, submit to the process. And I said to the legislature, to the House, once they submit to that, we're ready to work with them, and they did. So we've already given them the authorization. The Deputy Minister of Technical Services will work with the CMC to supervise the work that they do. Every step along the way as they're proceeding, we have to give our authorization for construction work. So yes, we are hoping that now CMC has the authority under our supervision to build the bridge. We will work with them and we hope they build the bridge.
Public Works Minister Roland Lafayette Giddings is here as our guest. Minister, you want to give us a picture of your ministry's intervention on community roads in Morovia. What do we expect?
So we got we got a project we call the Community Gravel Road Improvement. We call CGRIP. That is, we initiated last year. That project still continues. If you look in communities, what we are doing now, building drainage system, that is laying cover where we need to lay cover for control of the water that sometimes create a lot of ditches in our communities or on our community roads. So we're doing major cover installation and improving the riding surface. We did that the last budget year. Of course, the rain came, we had to stop. The rain has stopped. We restarted the project already. There's also another one in the budget for us to continue to do. So what we're trying to do is to improve the road in the different communities. So when we get to the point for pavement or to seal it, we already finished putting in place the structures. That means the drainage structure and all of that. That is what we're doing. It's called the Community Gravel Road Improvement Project. That will continue to happen. We may not be able to be in, all of the communities, but what I have said to my team also that we need to begin to do is to just take the motor grader in some of the community and just open up the roads. There's some places where the road just need to be opened up. They got trees, they got we normally call it Buckable Hill, on the side. You can just widen the road, open it up for people to be able to move without doing any major work. That's some of the kind of work that I'm looking for us to do. I've driven through some of the community and I see that where the roads are so bad, there are a lot of ditches, but you can just re-gravel it with just the dirt down on the side. Just move it, put it back, do some compassion, open it up, cut some trees down. I would discuss with them for us to get some power saw to cut some trees down in the community and just open up the road. We don't have the money to pave all, but at least we can make it pliable in a way that they can appreciate that. There are some community roads that will be paving. We should be doing the Jatunu Road. We are doing the VOA Road. We should be doing the Chicken Factory Road. We should be doing the New Jersey Road to go in the estate. That road is terrible. We are looking at hopefully we can do that. The budget permit us the Chocolate City Road. We have also been looking at the Seferency Road. I hope the budget will permit us to do that. So there's several community roads that we're looking at pavement for. We're doing some with rigid pavement, that's concrete. We could be doing some with asphalt, single layer. Some of the roads we open up in single. Some of the roads we open, the alleys we open up on the old road to connect the old road. Now you can enter old road almost 5 or 6 ways. First is to be on the 3, the Nigerian Horse, the VP Road, and then the fish market. But we created, I think, 3 or 4 other access into the old road, which make it compelling. One of the things we also want to do is to make sure you could leave the old and don't get on the boulevard until you get to town. So we begin to open that road. By February, we'll go back there to Road to Town. I don't know whether you noticed there was an altercation between one of my assistant ministers and Senator Sargis. Yeah. It is that road by the airfield we're trying to open to connect to Road to Town. So that means you come from the old road, you do not have to come on the boulevard. You just continue there and go through Fiaman, through, Jalatown, single Jalatown, and then you town. The intent is for us to be able to do all of that. So even for the bypass, now we're doing the overpass, which is the flyover bridges. It will be very difficult at certain point in
You say the
time.
bypass?
The overpass.
Okay, at the ministerial complex.
Yeah, ministerial complex, the 2 over bridges. So there will be some issue with traffic very soon. So what we're trying to do is to create an alternative route. And that route is being created from the SKD Boulevard through John Wiss's, it's a road that go to John Wiss's property there, to connect that point to Paco Island, and connect Paco Island to Peace Island. And then you come out of Peace Island and you continue on what you call the Allison Street, straight to the Oro. Right now, we are completing the process to get a contractor begin to mobilize on that road. So we were to do that connection. So that means if you're coming from Painesville, from SKD Boulevard, anywhere there, you may not have to enter to get on the boulevard. You can just continue through there, and you can go straight up to town.
From the car wash
from
over
the car,
there.
yeah, straight there, and then you go on the Oro and then connect to the road to town, the airfield road to town circle I'm talking about. So it takes that means you could come to town without using the SKD, the Tottenham Boulevard. That's what we want to do, and we want to create that access and also eventually pave it as a major route that those who coming from 72nd, from the whole SKD Boulevard
Police
community,
Academy.
Police Academy, all that, they do not have to come to the Boulevard, SKD Boulevard Junction, and get on the Tottenham Boulevard. They just continue through there, and then they can still come to town. So we're doing that. We're doing we are not doing the Carway Road now. If you see that as an intervention on the Carway Road, we're redoing the Carway Road. Most of the places that are really damaged, we're redoing it and doing some patches. We are doing the Monrovia City Street. So everywhere you go now you go on the Duper Road, you go come to Central Town, the bypass, wherever you see patches, we are beginning to do work. But strangely, the weather has said to us that there will be a lot of rain up to January because there was delay in the rainy season coming. So we still having intermittently some rain. We don't like it, but we can't do nothing about it. We just adjust to that.
Is there any corridor from 12th Street? I've heard a lot about it. From 12th Street connecting that same area you're talking about around the Basic Bridge, Basic Beach area to connect that 72nd side. Is there anything like that?
No, what we have now, I won't call the company name, but it's a company that we gave on a non-binding MOU to do an assessment now, and they have interest in doing Cassidy Boulevard to connect Cassidy Boulevard to 12th Street and to Fiamma. It's going to be
I
a
think
bridge.
that's the corridor I'm talking about.
Yes. So it's going to be a bridge. It's just about the bridge plus the road, everything together should be about 11 to 12 kilometers. And they're going to come like a Y, go to 12th Street and then go to Fiamma. And then we're going to put on the toll system. So they're currently conducting the studies. And then they will come back to us. So the same PPP model that we use on the Pavifo arrangement, that model could also be used to be able to connect that. One more last thing that we are doing, we want to also connect. If you go down Sleway, that road is supposed to connect to Jalatown Road. I know there will be some properties there. We'll go in there and see what we can do. But we want that when you're coming from across the bridge, if you want to go to Singer, you don't have to come up Burr Street. You can just go down Sleway and then you cut to Jalatown and then you continue going to Singer. So we have sent our team in there to do some assessment. There are some properties that are maybe in the right of way or in the alley. We'll find a way to deal with that. But we want to connect that road to Jalatown.
Are Liberian construction companies in any way benefiting from some of these contracts?
Oh yes, and good you asked the question. I'm one of those who, and the Liberian companies can testify to that. I believe we should give Liberian companies the opportunity to work. I believe the sector cannot grow if we exclude the Liberian company. We should begin to trust them. But the ones that I trust are the ones that are ready to work and the ones that are serious. If you're not serious, you can work with Public Works. I've terminated contracts for Liberian companies before. I've sent Liberian companies to the LSCC and to Justice Ministries who have received money and have not worked. I don't have the authority to push further, but what Justice and the LSCC do with them, that will be something that I will continue to follow up on. And so if you're serious, we work with you.
Do we have any Liberian companies?
But what happening? Let me end with this. So now there's a law that we are pushing now that was passed by the legislature, pushed by the Association of Liberian Construction Contractor, the LSCC. The law is clear that 25% of whatever works that is paid for by the government, whether on a loan arrangement, whether from budget, Liberian companies should be benefited 25%. I'm enforcing that. I've written the World Bank, the EU, the African Development Bank, that whatever project they have, that the financing on our behalf as a government is our money. There's a law that says that. And so they are aware. So the first contract that we're going to apply that to is 85 kilometer. We'll do that to the 65.1. We'll do that to the 48.5 and any other going forward.
With Liberian companies?
Yes. We've also
That's what I was about to ask. I wanted to know whether there's any Liberian company that is implementing a very big road construction project at the moment.
It will be, I think one is doing that. But it will be a little difficult to say that because most of the big construction projects require turnover that are heavy. Somebody asked for 40, 50 million annual turnover. No Liberian company reached to that level to do so. But there are Liberian companies that are gradually, scaling up.
Can we encourage 2, 3, 4 companies, Liberian companies, to come together, mobilize the resources to reach those kinds of targets?
Yeah,
I'm just thinking.
Again, I mean, the Liberian companies should encourage themselves. When we sit in meeting with them, we say that. But for two persons to work together, they got to agree. And the ministry is not in the business of trying to put people together. The next thing people say, that a company, you got injured in the company, put it together so you can get a contract. We don't want to be involved with that. But if they can come together, bring their resources together and bid on a project and they show that they have the capacity financially and technically, we will work with them. But we are clear that we're supporting Liberian companies. In fact, we are restricted setting work to Liberian company. We are waiting now for the president to endorse those regulations that will come up, like policy. It will be in the public, but I have to send it to the president for his endorsement and cabinet endorsement. It will be out. That will be restricting setting road works to only Liberian companies, and we define what a Liberian company is. We didn't want to restrict it to 100%. We said 51% share and above because Liberia could partner with someone. But we want to be sure that the management of the company has to be fully Liberian. So we'll be requiring the bank account of that company is signed, the checks are signed by a Liberian that we know because we want them by the front. We want to be sure. But we want to give you the leverage also to partner with a foreigner. But we're doing that to support Liberian companies.
That's good. Now, Minister, before I take on, we're chasing like 12 minutes before we go to the lands. We are running 2 years. Next year now, we'll be running 2 years in your administration. Mm-hmm. Do you have a picture of the percentage or how many kilometers of new roads, let me say it that way, that you've paved under this administration?
Yeah, I won't say that right away off my head now, but we're going to have that for the president annual message.
Okay.
We're putting all the data together because we don't just want to say, we want to be sure of what it is. We know we're doing work, but we want to quantify everything, and that information will be out for the president annual message. But we've done some very good job in terms of number of roads that we paved to date. Yes, on the major corridors, yes, we don't work there. But the figures will come out, okay, because we're preparing that now for the president annual messages next year, and I'm sure that will be included in there.
Okay, we have the Minister of Public Works. Let's take calls. Let's hear you. Ask your questions. What do you want to say to him? 0777 700 995. Be clear, be straight to the point, and be specific if there's a need to do so. Hello?
Yeah, Mr. Jackson, good morning.
Good morning.
Let me say good morning to the Minister in studio. I'm Samuel Pepper from Understand this morning, Kakata. So let me appreciate him for the work he do for our country. I think, like he said, there are roads that have been built by the government that have economic dividend. But my specific concern is, Clarence, you may know from Batala going to that live from the Garawulu around.
So go to Fenutuli.
Yeah, Fenutuli. That place is a major route. High hospital and also market. I mean, I want for the minister to tell me, because there was road chapter few months back across the nation. But that road chapter is not so. Are you having any plan to build that road? Because it's my home. I'm too concerned about that place. Thank you so much for the show.
Okay, thank you. Hello?
Yeah, good morning, Clarence,
Mm-hmm.
and good morning to the minister. My name is Gideon. I have two major concerns. Concern number one is, what is the measure the Minister of Public Works is putting into place to see how best those constructors can have a standard road, a sure guaranteed road, because most of the roads that they are building, they are not even up to standard. 1 year, 2 years, you see the quota tracking bottle. That's one. Two, one measure is the public work putting into place, because on the road we see people being under the station line, and they will see it until they see the people have the daily right there. What measure are they putting into place to see how the people can stop doing it?
Okay, people building on a tension lines. Hello?
David Koti, my name.
Yeah.
Mr. Minister, good morning, and I want to let you know that the entire country is proud of you. Since 1847, this is the first time that no car has ever got stuck in the mud in any part of the interior during the rainy season.
In your 200 reasons?
Oh yeah, no, I'm doing 150 reasons. The Ministry of Public Works is going to give me about 10 of those reasons. I'm going to meet the minister or whoever is responsible. I'm going to get them 150 reasons. It will be done. I did it for my area. I can do it for Joe Parker. Now, you have done very well in every sector. Where I live, from the New Bridge up to St. Paul Bridge, we used to take hours, but now it's just a matter of minutes. Thank you. But I got a question for you. What plans do you have for we who are here between Iron Gate and Artington? You know, I feel envious. I get so jealous of the people from Banja. About 3 or 4 years ago, they got this concrete pavement, and each time we come on our side, the roads are very bad. So what are you going to do for us, sir? Thank you.
Thank you. Hello?
Yeah, good morning.
Yeah?
Yeah. This is Grimoire calling from Royal Life.
Yeah?
Well, I want to ask the minister if there's any plan concerning the pipeline road from pipeline junction to Willambu.
Yeah.
But we are facing a lot of difficulty on our road.
Okay. Thank you. Let's go. Hello?
Hello, Mr. Johnson, how are you?
I'm good.
Yeah, okay. This is Aloysius, and how are you to the Honorable Minister of Public Works?
Go ahead.
My attention has been drawn to the Kebai to Johnsonville Road, where they build a report of sample from the Public Works, highlighting the major issue on our road. But since then, they did their assessment. We haven't been able to get any information when it comes to the construction process of Kebai. And that road seems to be one of the very cardinal, points
when you come from the red light bell, Johnson Bill, you get people there, you get ready to Keba. You don't have to pass through the Gala market to come out there.
Thank you. Hello.
Yeah, good morning, Clarence.
Yeah.
And good morning to the guys in studio there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm Washington Wolver. I call from Jocostan. Minister, you are doing well. Thank you so much. I appreciate it so much. Well, I want to do one recommendation to you, and I think it's very important. The road, Puebla road connecting to the market there, to the main road, right like there. Hey, I want you to send your team there. The place is too terrible. After in the next one going on now, what to say the Baba and taking the Baba is also going all area and because the road spoke because Keke now there now what to say the Baba to go way down to take Keke. The distance not really actually long.
Okay. So we're not taking any more calls. He will use the rest of the 5 minutes. But Minister, a Liberian engineer based in Germany, just sent me this. He says, please ask the minister, is there a national road and street network planning strategy or plan guiding the development and construction of these roads? Liberia currently lacks such a policy document. So how is this process being coordinated?
So let me speak quickly to the first question asked. It's a question for our engagement in the I think Batala is a Batala to what?
Batala to Toliro. Yeah. It
Yes.
connects
Again,
Parabasa.
let me see what's going to happen. The setting up of the maintenance zone is a project that will definitely happen. We are hoping that the equipment can be in country by February latest. We have had our team around the country to be able to identify all the sites where there are no property for public works in the county. We should be constructing once we have the resources to set up the maintenance zone. Once we have the maintenance zone in these counties, majority of these roads will be taken care of because we do not have the capacity to contract all of these roads around the country. It's not possible, so the maintenance zone will be able to help. And I'm very sure as we have like a small popular work here, I would say, like what it should be before, in each of the county, we continue to build on that to improve on the number of equipment that we have. This is the first sets that we are buying, and if the need to continue to bring in more equipment to be able to support the zones so that they can intervene in the counties and on all the roads, that's something we do. The road inventory survey is also considering identifying the condition of our bridges, identifying water crossing points where there are no bridges, where there are also log bridges, to remove them and replace them with billy bridges. So when that survey comes out, hopefully by February, we'll be able to identify our intervention on all these corridors. I know everybody will want the road. Yesterday I was at the house to defend our budget. There were questions from everywhere. Everybody wants the road to be done, but of course there are budgetary constraints. There were also a question about the road in terms of supervision quality. Of course, yes. There's some of the roads that will be done and there could be some issue in terms of construction, and that's why in the contract we have a defect liability period that will allow the contractors to come back and redo where there were some issues in terms of the construction. The Iron Gate, of course, the Iron Gate Road, Mr. Koti is not ready yet. We will come there. We're starting gradually in the Brovi area. We did the Banja Road. We are doing VOA. We are doing Jatuno. So we're coming on the other side very soon. You know, it's a process. We get there. The Prep Land Road, that road, Prep Land Road through the market, William Boot is bad. I know that. I have my team to go in there to assess it. We will have to make some kind of intervention next year on that particular corridor. I can promise the people in the market in that particular area that connects to the real market from Pipeline to William Booth, we would do something. The road is bad. My team was there and I saw it and I know it's terrible. We'll definitely intervene. Somebody asked about the Johnsonville Kebab bypass. This is connected to the Chicken Factory project that we're doing. But in phase one, we have to focus on the Chicken Factory side and to be able to connect that piece. So it stays something. The sample you saw up is meaningful. We'll definitely do so. There's a question about planning strategy about how we do our roads. We have a draft law that look at the national road, just classification of our national road that should be going to the legislature, how we classify our road and how we proceed with its development. We have the road fund now, which we develop what you call an annual road maintenance plan. That look at maintaining our road network. There's a whole plan for that. We have a United Ministry of Public Works that use the HDMI to be able to identify how our roads are selected for intervention. We have that. And so with that, it helps as to how we intervene. Of course, some of the roads might have returns. Some may be for social reasons. Not all the road investing will be for economic returns. Some for just social reasons. People in these communities have to have access. So yes, there's a standard that classify our road. In fact, now we have 4 categories of our roads, like I was saying. The Swedish, thanks to them, they did some great job over the years in Liberia. We appreciate what they've done. In fact, they left off with one more category of our road, which we call the village access road, which is half of a feeder road now that are connecting our smaller villages to the feeder road, to secondary road, and up to the primary road.
Okay, Minister. Thank you so much for coming. Let's not stop talking about the roads across the country. Minister, thank you so much.
Thank you for having me, and I hope you give me my 15 minutes next time.
Okay, probably next year, maybe. Because
Yeah.
in December, the minister then coming
Sure.
to that break.
Thank you.
All right, the Minister of Public Works, Roland Lafayette Gillings, was here as our guest. Thanks to all of you for listening. Tomorrow we'll be back here, man. He was giving us a picture of roads across the country. Okay, bye-bye. Next is the news at 10, Liberia at 10.